Do you have to hire a lawyer to make a living trust for you? In this video, I'm going to share 3 reasons not to hire a lawyer to make your own living trust. Before I get started, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please do so you can get notified whenever I post a new video about living trusts. And by the way, my name is Edmund. I am a living trust lawyer. I've helped hundreds of families and I've taught thousands of people how to do it themselves, and I'm really excited to share my tips and tricks with you today. If you want to learn about the entire process to make your own trust by yourself without hiring a lawyer and to do it the right way, check out my free online class at freetrustclass.com, and the link is in the description below. So really quick legal disclaimer, I'm not your lawyer. Everything that I'm sharing with you today is not legal advice. It's just for your information. If you need any legal advice, if you have any questions, talk to a lawyer. So really quickly, I want to point out that it's always best to hire a lawyer, right? Because a lawyer has been trained, he has experience or she has experience doing this for families. And so it's always best to hire a lawyer, but there's some situations where it might not be possible, or there's some situations where potentially a lawyer is not required. So I'm going to share those 3 scenarios with you today. The first scenario is when you have no budget, right? If you have a small budget, for example, if you only have $200 in the bank account, hiring a lawyer is probably outside of your options. And so if you really don't have the cash to hire a lawyer, obviously you can't do that because a lawyer charges thousands of dollars, especially a good one. You can find paralegals, document preparers that can do it for you for a few $100s, but a lot of times, those services, they do it wrong. And so sometimes it's best to, if you can't hire a good lawyer, rather than giving it to somebody who's gonna mess up, you can actually learn it and do it yourself. That's why I created this free online class that you can check out and enroll in. It's gonna teach you every step how to make your own living trust if you don't have the budget to do so with a lawyer. So the first reason not to hire a lawyer is pretty straightforward. It's if you don't have a budget, then you might want to consider making one yourself. Now, the second reason why you might not want to hire a lawyer is if you need it done fast. So generally, lawyers take a few months to get your estate plan done, especially a good living trust lawyer. It's going to take you a few months. For myself, I try to get mine done within a month and a half for my clients. And so it does take at least a month to get it done. So some people don't want to wait. Some people just want to get it over with and do it themselves. And so you might want to consider doing it yourself if you don't have the time to wait for a good lawyer to do it for you, or if you just want to learn it yourself. Because some people, they want to do things themselves. That's why there's so many do-it-yourself videos, like painting, crafts work on YouTube. And so if you're one of those people who like to do things yourself, who like to learn from start to finish how to create something, then making your own living trust is possible. Again, check out my free class at freetrustclass.com for all the details. So another reason why you might not want to hire a lawyer is because is when your assets are really simple. So for example, if you own a house, if you own a few bank accounts, retirement accounts, if you got some life insurance, and you want to make sure if something happens to you, your children receive it, and you want all the kids to receive it equally, and all the kids get along, in those scenarios, you might not need a lawyer. You might be able to do it yourself. And so if that's your situation, you can definitely do it yourself. There are free trust makers online where you just answer a few questions and they're going to generate a full legal document for you that's specific to the state that you live in. And also you can customize it based on the way that you want the distributions to be made, who the trustee is to make sure that the instructions are followed, and who you want to give your assets to. When do you want to give it to your children? Do you want your children to receive everything right away, or do you want them to receive it in segments, like some now and then some later, so that if they waste their inheritance the first time, they've got additional inheritances that they can use in the future. So all of that can be customized online through free online trust makers. And so if you would like to make your own living trust, I have a free trust class, again, freetrustclass.com, and it's going to teach you all of that. So here are some key takeaways to make your decision. Do I hire a lawyer? Do I not? Again, if you want to save some money, if you want to keep more money in the family and do it yourself, you can absolutely do it. Again, lawyers who are good at what they do in terms of creating living trusts, at the minimum, they're going to charge you around $2,000. So my fees are generally around $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. And I completely understand that some people, they just don't have the means or the budget to do so. And so if you're in that situation, you might want to consider it doing it yourself. But you want to make sure that you do it right. A lot of people, they do it wrong by just going on a free trust maker website and fill everything out in 10 minutes, print it out, sign it, and put it away. That's the first thing you should be doing, but there's so much that goes into it. You want to make sure that you know every single step and make sure that you do it right, because some trusts are not enforceable. If you don't sign it right, if it's not written correctly, you might be giving money to someone else that you did not intend to. And so making sure that you do it the right way, if you are doing it yourself, is so important. So if you have any questions, check out my free class. And also, another way to determine whether or not you want to do it yourself is, like I mentioned, do you like to do things yourself? Do you like to learn how to create certain things? And if you like to create things, then creating your own living trust for your kids, that is so meaningful, because this is basically going to be the last gift that you're going to give your children before you pass away. Because after you pass away, they're going to see your trust, and they're going to know how much you love them by making sure, number one, everything's in order, so they don't have to go through probate. They don't have to find what assets you own and figure out who's going to do what. All of those decisions will have already been made, and everything will be orderly in your estate planning binder that you leave for your children, to let them know, kids, I love you. I want the best for you, and so therefore here's my living trust. Here are the instructions that says who gets what and how they receive and who's in charge of the process. And so it just makes everything much more simple, much clearer, and so your kids are going to love you for it. So at the end of the day, it's really your decision whether or not you want to hire a lawyer. You can certainly do so, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video. It's very important that you do it right, and obviously hiring a good lawyer to do it right for you is very important. And that's the path that I recommend. But if you don't have the budget, if you want to do it yourself, you can certainly do it. So if you want to do it yourself, check out my free class. I'm going to show you how to make your own living trust the right way, so you can protect your house from probate with confidence and without making mistakes, and making sure that who you want to receive your assets, your house, your money, will be able to do so without any hassle or problems when you pass away. I'm not here to sell my legal services to you. So my number one goal is to make sure you keep more money in the family and give you that peace of mind. So click the link in the description below to register for the free class, so you can create your own living trust without a lawyer. So right now, if you're struggling with the question, how do I know if I'm going to do it right? Where am I going to get the information? You can get it from my class, but the most important thing I want to leave you with is this verse in the Bible from James chapter 1, verse 5. If any of you lack wisdom, so right now, if you feel like, I don't have the wisdom, I don't have the information, the knowledge in order to make my own trust, what do I do? Well, James chapter 1 gives you the answer. If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. So when we ask God to give us wisdom, He will never hold back from us. And so my prayer is that you know Jesus and that you accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior, because He has all the wisdom that you need for everything that you need in your life, which includes the living trust portion as well. Because in the Bible, in Proverbs, it also says a good person leaves an inheritance for their children's children. So you are doing exactly what God wants you to do. He wants you to leave an inheritance to your children. And the best inheritance is done through a living trust, letting your kids know how much you love them, through making it easy and simple for them once you're gone. All right, so if you have any questions for me, please let me know in the comments below. If you've signed up for your free trust class, I will see you in the class. All right, God bless you all. See you later.